Hello children, welcome to English class. Today we are going to see the concept time 2 and concept time 3. So first let us learn about the concept time 2, that is about subject of a poem. So here, how to find a subject of a story. So already we have learnt about it. How to find the subject of a story. For example, while you want to know about the subject of a particular story, you have to just read the title, and you'll be seeing regarding that title, you'll be checking out for clues. So you'll be finding some words that related to the title, isn't it? So likewise you will find the subject of a story or a passage. But here some structure to follow the subject of a poem. So here the subject of a poem is the idea or the thing that the poem is about. So let us identify the subject of a poem given below using the steps given beside it. So here, for what purpose we need to find the subject of a poem? That means to know the idea or the thing which is given in that particular poem, we need to find the subject of a poem. So here let us see the example poem. My fairy godmother, my fairy godmother. I thought I was dreaming when I saw her, wrapped in a beautiful green gown. She touched my forehead with her hands as soft as rose petals. I had never seen such elegance before I met her. I felt as if she was God's grace wrapped in a beautiful gown. As I woke up, I realized I had just met my fairy godmother. So here the author, when he was sleeping, he had a dream, like he could see the fairy godmother. So usually we all know the fairy means she'll be wearing a gown with a beautiful crown, isn't it? So same like that, she'll be very soft nature, so everything like that, right? Same like that, here the author also dreamed like that he has seen the fairy godmother in his dream. So here now what we did, just we read the poem, isn't it? So twice or thrice you can read the poem carefully. Then what you have to do, you have to read the title. So what is the title? My fairy godmother. So that was the title given for this particular poem, right? So here what you have to do, first you have to read the poem carefully. So just we read that, and then we need to read the title and look for some words so which have been repeated in the poem. So what is the main word which has been repeated again and again? Fairy, 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 isn't it? So from that we come to know it was the title My Fairy Godmother. So what are the keywords given here? Beautiful gown, fairy godmother, like that, isn't it? So here from this clue, we come to know what is the poem mostly about. So this poem is mostly about a fairy. So what kind of fairy? Fairy godmother. So this is the main subject of the poem. So these three structures should be followed to find the subject of a poem. That is about read the poem carefully, you need to read the title, and you have to look for some clue words, that is about keywords, and you have to find the what is the poem mostly about it. Okay. So here are some more poem which has been given for you. The Rainy Day and the Buttercups and Daisies. So here are some two poems that you have to read it, and you have to find the identify the subject over there. Okay. Then then the next is we are going to see the tree poem, that is about, take page 83 in your honeycomb book. So here the trees are for birds, trees are for children, trees are to make tree houses in, trees are to swings on, trees are for the wind to blow through, trees are to hide behind in hide and seek, trees are to have tea parties under, trees are for kites to get caught in. Trees are to make cool shade in summer. Trees are to make no shade in winter. Trees are for apples to grow on and pears. Trees are to chop down and call timber. Trees make mother say, what a lovely picture to paint. Trees make father say, what a lot of leaves to rake this fall. So this poem was written by Shirley Bear. So here this Shirley Bear has written a poem about the trees. So from the main title itself we come to know that it was a poem about a tree. So we all know the uses of trees, isn't it? So here the birds can build their nests and it can lay eggs and it can bring out the young ones, and here you can see the trees are for children, right? Mostly children love to play under the tree, isn't it? And you can see the tree houses which are built on the tree, and most of us they can they can tie the rope on the tree and they can play the swing over there, and importantly the tree gives the fresh air to blow through, and here the children will be playing hide and seek because the trunk of the tree will be so big, isn't it? And so many tea parties can go under the tree. For example, if you go to Satya restaurant, you can see the parties will go on because it will full of plants and trees, isn't it? And you may know that kites, when it fly in the air, it may got caught in some other thing, in some other trees, like, isn't it? And it will give cool shade in summer, and you cannot see shade in winter because it will be gloomy over there, isn't it? And you can see the apple tree and pears, like, and when it cut down or chopped down means when it was cut down, those timbers, that wood part, we'll tell it as timber. So it was useful for to make chairs, cupboards, everything. So here the trees make mother say. So here when the mother saw the tree, what she'll say, that what a lovely picture to paint. For example, I'll tell you an example. When you were small, as your mother will teach you how to draw the tree, isn't it? So because it is very easy to draw the tree, isn't it? For example, the trees make fathers to say that what a lot of leaves to rake this fall. That means, rake means falling down. So you can see over so many leaves over there. So these are the thing the author explaining about the trees. So just you do this practice question one by identifying the subject of the poems, and you have to write the question number 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So you have to find it out what is the subject of the poem trees, and you have to explain with certain words which have been given in the poem. So the next chapter we are going to see is about personification. So here personification is nothing but for certain, for example, as we learnt about the squirrel poem, right? So in that squirrel poem, that the author have mentioned that it has been wore the dress like stripes like coat, isn't it? Overcoat. Does the squirrel wear coat? No, it's nothing, right? The personification means there'll be an animal which has been described by the author by giving the human qualities for the particular animal. So that is known as personification. So here personification means a personification is a literary device using which objects and animals. So here for the objects as well as the animals, they'll give the human qualities such as being able to write or laugh or dance. For example, the squirrels may not dance. The squirrel cannot write or laugh. But here the character says it will laugh and everything, right? So it helps. So why they are creating such poem? Why the authors are all creating such poem? Because it helps a reader to read it very interestingly, to know about it, to know the interesting facts about the particular animal or particular thing. So that the author are making the poem very interesting to these, while they are including the human qualities for that. So it helps create a strong image in the mind of the readers while they are reading a poem. So here is an example for the poem, the squirrel poem. That is of what is about the personification of the squirrel. He wore a question mark for tail and overcoat of grey. So here What is being personified? The squirrel is being personified in this poem, right? So how? By the human quality. So what kind of human qualities has been given to it? So here the human qualities of that the squirrel was wearing something has been given to the squirrel. So here the personification of the human qualities, that is about that squirrel is wearing something, but it's not true, isn't it? That is the imagination. So this is known as the personification. So here by this we just need to do the practice question 2 and practice question 1. So just I come to know that you all understand about the concept time 2, that is about subject of a poem and a personification of a poem. So kindly do the homework in practice question 1 and practice question 2. Thank you, dear children.